All right, guys. Well, this is the 5th day of me recording just my overall trip, and I thought about something. I had a good experience today, and I wanted to put it on video. But I'm more past that. I wanted Stockton to talk about, his life and whatever he really wants to talk about for a little bit. And what got me interested or piqued my interest or my spirit or whatever is that he is. I'll let him talk to you about what he is because I don't like labels, you know that. But yeah, we're just gonna talk. This is raw, however we're feeling, and so yeah. Also, anyways, yeah, this is gonna be it. So, Stockton, as we started talking earlier about faith and everything, you let me know that you follow the
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, right? And I've read into it a little bit. I've never read the Book of Mormon or anything, but I have read about the history, a little bit of it. But it just piqued my interest, and had a pretty good experience overcoming some fear, and wanted to talk to you today and see what your thoughts were and what you want to talk about. I know we spoke about a lot of stuff, but give me your experience with your faith and your feelings. This is about, I just like whatever I'm feeling. If I'm feeling happy, I put it on there. If I'm feeling sad, I put it on there. Whatever it is. So kind of just give you the floor and let you speak. And you're gonna speak a little bit louder because I don't have a professional setup yet.
All right, no worries. Well, I'm actually super pumped. I met Jordan today. We're here in southern Utah in Kanab, and we met at a place called the Moki Cave. And there we kind of got talking. I'm a tour guide for this company called Rome, and what we do is we take people out into this beautiful country and just have one heck of a time, right? And so what we ended up doing today, Jordan mentioned that we overcame some fears today. Essentially, we were up on a 200-foot cliff. We climbed it, we scaled it, and stuff like that. It's called a Via Ferrata. And basically you climb up this cliff, you get to the top, and then you rappel off the backside. It sounds really simple. But when you're up there, it's a little spooky, right?
Yeah, it can get spooky. Yeah. There's a couple of times where I was a little bit shaky for sure.
Hey man, it happens, right? And so, like while you're up there, the cool thing is that you're overcoming this obstacle, right? This in your head, it's a huge cliff, right? I mean, naturally your body's gonna be telling you, don't go up, don't. You're gonna die. Like you're gonna fall and you're gonna die, right? That's what your brain is telling you. But essentially what we're doing is you get on that wall and you're completely safe, right? You're harnessed in and everything. And essentially you're overcoming that obstacle, that cliff, that mental cliff more than anything, of saying, no, I got this, I can do this. And so as you climb up this cliff, yeah, your knees get a little wobbly, right? You get shaky. And it is spooky, but you overcome that. And so afterwards, you come out much stronger. And real quick, like how did you feel like when you got to the top?
No, it was great, man. Like you're saying, like through life, even with going up the mountain, like there's a lot of things that you go through in life. Me personally, right now, I'll just talk about that because that's what this channel is about. I'm going through something emotionally, mentally, all this stuff like that with the overcoming of drugs and all that. That was a big obstacle I overcame, but there's still fear that I deal with the aftermath of what that years of drug abuse, 18 years of needles and all this stuff did to me. Now I have this overcoming sense of fear most of the time, but doing that literally it just shows like it's not, yes, we're doing a physical task, but it helps mentally, like at the top of it I felt better. I felt a lot better. Like I was like, okay, maybe I can do this. Climb a wall, yes, but climb a mountain in my own life, emotional mountain, the fear, overcoming fear, man. Fear is not, I've always been taught fear is not of God, and that's true, but I still deal with it. I'm a human and I have stuff that I deal with sometimes, and that's what this journey is part of about, is overcoming those fears and finding a deeper faith, in my faith. And so you were telling me a little bit about what you believe in. How long have you been involved with that, your walk of faith? How long have you been saved, if you want to put it that way?
Yeah. So I actually grew up believing in the faith that I currently live, in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. My family, they raised me in it, they taught me it, and I loved it. And obviously, like growing up in a faith, you don't always like fully grasp it, fully understand it, or maybe you don't even really care much about it. But I went through different experiences and stuff like that to come to love it, come to truly like believe it and know it for myself. And it's really cool because, you know, we're talking about the cliff, right? We're talking about overcoming that, overcoming the fear and all of this and stuff like that. And so really I kind of want to tie that back into my faith as far as overcoming these obstacles, right? You know, I'm a very strong believer in Jesus Christ. You know, because of Jesus Christ, you know, we can overcome anything. This might be kind of a funny twist, but essentially, we do have these cliffs that we got to climb, and we are doing the work.
Sure.
You know, you gotta be pulling yourself up. But the cool thing is Christ is that harness. He's that helmet.
Yep.
You know, he's that safety. He's gonna keep you from falling all the way, right? You might fall and trip, and you'll fall a distance, right?
Get some broken bones sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah, you'll get some scrapes and bruises, and it's gonna suck sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But you're not gonna fall all the way, right? You're not gonna drop and you're gonna lose everything, right?
Sure.
You are attached to that wall, and Christ is that safety net. He's that thing that is keeping you there, because Christ died for us, we are saved. Right? We're all saved. That doesn't mean we can't fall, right? We'll trip and fall, we'll stumble on the wall. You know, we talked about that. If we had fallen, it probably would have hurt pretty bad, but we wouldn't have fallen to our deaths, right? And that's the cool thing about Christ, is that because he's died for us, we're not going to fall to our death, right? Fall spiritually.
And even inside that though, like people, like, I know me anyways, I'll just stick with me because that's who I know. So like when I was growing up, like they had this term for, it was called backsliding. There's a big term that went around in the faith I was raised in. And when you were backslidden, that means that you were basically separated from Christ, meaning that you had lost your faith and you had went off. But literally, like, the judgment was that if they picked up a drink and they drank, they were backslidden. If they stopped coming to church so much, they were backslidden, you know, all this different stuff. And what I'm beginning to learn and understand is that my faith, like, throughout, I don't know, hopefully y'all can hear this really good, but throughout all my stuff, all my struggles and everything, the depths that I went to, the homelessness, the you know, all the stuff that I will go into later, I haven't gone in detail with you yet, but through all that stuff, like, now that I'm looking back on my side, I never lost my faith. Like, I was never, quote unquote, backslidden. I was at a different place in my faith, and I was questioning a lot of things. I think it was it Paul that said, I believe, but help my unbelief? And that's kind of where I was and where I still am, and I'm working on getting. But the realization that it is okay for me to be that way is what I'm beginning to understand and feel and really believe, that it's not a cookie cutter religion, you know, like there's not one way. I don't want to say that. There's sin for one person is not sin for another person, because some people are tempted with some things, some people aren't tempted, is what I'm coming to believe. But in the Mormon faith, I want to get more into detail with that. Like, what is I don't want to go into as much detail as you want. What is the Mormon faith? Do you want to call that?
You're good to.
Okay.
You're totally good to call.
So what is that? Go into it a little bit with us.
Truly, I mean, it's at its core, it's following Christ and what he did, and trying to live our lives patterned after the way that he did it, right? So loving, serving, inviting, encouraging, helping in any way and aspect you can, and there's a lot of teaching involved with that, and so it's really just a gospel of progression, right? There's constant progression. I mean, we're here to progress, right? We weren't just put here on this earth for no reason at all. No, not at all. Like, we are children of God.
There was a commandment in Genesis. We had to go out and repopulate, but that doesn't mean, you know, sexual encounters to have kids all the time. It's literally a repopulating as far as growing too. I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, spiritually and physically both.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it does. Right?
No, totally. I mean, like, we're here to learn, grow, and improve, and continue that onward, right?
Yeah.
In that sense, like you were talking about, and so truly, our faith is all about that, and doing it in the way that Christ taught, and that in the way that he led, and so ultimately we follow Christ's teachings, given to us through the Bible as well as through the Book of Mormon. Jordan mentioned that. I have read that book as well as the Bible. I love them both so much, but the Book of Mormon has truly like helped me strengthen my relationship with Christ and come closer to God better than anything else I've ever done.
We talked about that up there on the hill, because some people, I know it, again, what I was introduced to was that people disagreed with it because it was, the whole adding to or taking away the Bible from the Bible. What we're talking about on the hill is like, if really, the way I think about it is that if you believe that way, then the Bible really would be it's contradictory, because the Bible is 66 individual books put together, honestly went through by the Catholic Church, I think later, a while back, but that is a collection of scriptures that was brought over from Greek, from Arabic and Hebrew, but this is just, it's almost like saying if somebody can't inspire somebody to write something nowadays, then I feel like God would be dead, honestly. And that's my thinking with it. I'm not a Mormon. I don't claim to be Mormon. I don't claim to be Church of Latter-day Saints. I know there's a split there, but I do think that there is inspiration that God does every day. I mean, I've read the book, the Big Book. It's called the Big Book. It's a big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. I very, very much believe that is an inspired book too. Absolutely. It's helped tons of people, and the principles that are behind the book, loving people, service, not thinking about yourself, getting out of self and helping somebody else, it's biblical, so what is your experience with talking to people? Is there stuff that you might want them to know? I know we've talked about a little bit, but the misunderstanding of, or what do you want when somebody comes to you with a question? Well, don't add to it or take away from it. What is your go-to? What do you talk about when you're looking?
I mean, essentially, like if that's the case, then it's like you said, God's dead, right? If we can't believe that there are other people with other experiences with God, right? Because truly, I mean, that's all the Bible is. That's all the Book of Mormon is. It's individuals' experiences journaled and then compiled, right? Yeah. And those things, those teachings that they learned and that they wrote are there to help us, which means we have modern day scripture as well. I know with all my heart, God is not dead. He speaks to us every single day, and I know with all my heart that He's spoken to me and touched me in so many different ways, whether that's through other people, those around me, right? Whether that's through old scriptures, new scriptures, or living prophets, because I believe in all of that. If you look into our faith, you'll see that our church is set up the exact way that Christ set it up during the Bible, right? And really the most important thing I could tell anyone right now is that 1, God lives. 2, He'll let you know. And 3, you just gotta open your eyes and open your heart and be willing to hear it, because it's like I said, He's gonna talk to us in so many different ways, whether that's through other people like Jordan. I'm sure he's touching a lot of people, and with these videos, whoever watches them, I'm sure they'll get touched.
Maybe at some point some people will watch it.
Amen.
It's the beginning.
It's
okay.
the beginning. We'll take that, right?
Right.
And truly, like God loves us. He loves us all, no matter who you are, where you've been, or where you're going. He loves you, and I know that He can help you feel that as you come to Him, and it doesn't take much. You just gotta open your heart and be willing to it, and He'll come and He'll just bless you up.
That's good. I think that's a good place to stop. I will say, like, I do believe that there is, it talks about it in Scripture. I'm not sure if the Book of Mormon talks about it or not, but it talks about awakening in the final days and before Jesus comes back and all that stuff. And I really do think that the audience is there. I think that the direction, the people, they most part, they want something to believe in, but it's really becoming hard to find truth in a world oversaturated with information.
Totally.
So that's kind of what this whole thing is about. That was a great. I'm glad that I met you. I'm glad I went on that trip. If you're ever in Kanab, yeah, come visit the Moki Cave and go on Rome, right? That's the name of it. Rome tours, and see what's going on with it. But man, catch you later. Thank you for doing it, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
See ya.
That's it. That's what
we do. Love it.
Thanks for doing it, man.
No problem.
I don't know.